This is Crystal.
This is Abby.
This is Alondra.
And this is Tanisha. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Girls Talk Women Retreat, where we're getting ready for our annual women's retreat. Dates are May 3rd through the 5th, 2024. We actually are offering a discount right now. It actually has ended. I'm sorry, but you can still get your tickets. You can still get your tickets at www.girlstalk.us. We would love to love on you. Come out, come with purpose, come with a plan, get your girls, and just join us. So, with that being said, some of the things that we discuss at the retreat is the mindset. So today's broadcast is talking about mindset makeover. We're going to have a mindset makeover. So we're hoping we have something in store for our listeners. So when you think about mindset makeover, the first thing I think of is the word makeover itself. So normally when you think of that, a person goes in and they say, I want a makeover. We're gonna think about women, right?
Yes.
So when we have that makeover, we don't want to leave the same way we came in, right?
Absolutely.
So with that makeover, that may mean a new hairdo. You may cut some hair, you may add some hair, you may color some hair, you may cover some grays. It just depends on what it is you want. So when you go into that salon, you already have an idea of what it is you want done, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing with a mindset makeover. First, you need to think about what is it that I want to change in my mindset? What is it that I want to change? And be real with yourself and acknowledge what needs changing. So when you do that, you're doing the work. So you're going in and you're saying, okay, I have this mindset when I need this mindset. And especially with entrepreneurs, that is very important as far as your business dealings because you can miss a lot of opportunities with the wrong mindset.
So true.
And what do I mean by that? I'll give you a prime example. I have been in rooms with people who in a past life, I'll say past life, a past experience, it's not something that I may have approved of. However, I now have worked on my mindset and what it means to be an entrepreneur or be in rooms with certain people. And instead of me not being able to work with that individual, I can possibly join them with someone else that works better with them. So I've made up in my mind, instead of me saying, I can't work with you, I can't be around you, I can still help you find someone that can do the job. That's a total different mindset
It
because
is.
some of us will sit around and just say, I don't like them and I'm not doing it and I don't want to be a part of it.
Absolutely. I see it all the time. I think about the song by Tamla Mann that says, Change me, oh God.
Yeah.
Make me more like you. And a mindset to me, when I think about it, is it's more than just, want to be different. Like I'm gonna wake up today and today I'm gonna go a whole different path. No, it is like just like riding a bike or working out, you got to practice it.
Consistency.
You are going to have to take that time to write it down. What do you want to change? Pray over what you want to change. Make sure that that change makes sense. And then on top of that, practicing it every single day. Even when you don't want to, you just keep practicing it. And I think about with my business, one of the biggest things I had to cross over to is I have a nonprofit and most of that stuff is free, which I'm starting to see that shouldn't be free as well. But knowing that as a business owner, you can't do free. There has to be value with that. And if you can't change that mindset to say, okay, I'm going to value myself, even if I'm giving something for free, they need to know how much it's valued at.
Right.
So that they understand you're getting this much value. And what that does is change your mindset from giving people what normally would be free to changing your mindset to I'm growing and I'm understanding. I know my worth. I understand what it costs for me to make this product, how much it costs for me to put this product out, and how much I need to charge so that I have a value and the people that come across my products also have a value. Because what's worse is someone that paid $1,000 for a website and then I'm giving away this same website for 150.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes a whole big difference. So I let the people know you're getting $1,000 value website. You're getting, and I'm discounting it because, and really I'm not discounting it. I'm cutting off some of the value of it so
Mhm.
that it is of value. And or I'm learning something new. Like I went into the AI part of the website. So I offered a website for $150. And it was because I wanted to learn how to use it
Mhm.
Mhm.
so that when I put it back out there for my clients, it's not that the value that they're getting is worth it. Why would I charge you $1,000 if I don't know how to use it yet?
Right. That
So
part.
after
Mhm.
I figured out how to use it, then I'm like, oh, okay. It's $1,000.
Mhm.
Actually, this product is
Right.
$1,500.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So understanding your mindset and really taking the time to understand you have to shift your mind
Mhm.
from where you are now to
Mhm.
where you want to go. And it
Mhm.
takes not only yourself, but doing a survey from your peers
Yeah, that's
and
right.
your
Yeah.
friends.
Well, and sometimes it's we don't realize when we need to do that mind shift change until it
Mhm.
comes hurling at you and you're like, oh, something has to change.
Oh,
I'll give
yes.
a personal experience that just happened a couple of weeks ago. I so we were approaching tax season, or we're basically in tax season right now. And I was doing the books for 2023 for The Office, and I put everything together, and I've for the I mean, for towards since the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, I started feeling so negatively towards the insurance office. I didn't want to go in. I had a bad feel and energy, and it was transferring in the way I was doing my work. And when I closed my books, I realized the reason I'm feeling this way is I work more than 40 hours a week.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
For all of 2023,
Mm.
I had only paid myself $650 for the
Mm.
entire 2023.
Hmm.
And I got home and I felt so bitter because I said, how am I putting all of this work and time and I'm missing out on other parts of my life? And I didn't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
And so I put my kiddo in the shower because he's old enough that he can shower by himself. And my husband was in the living room, and I sat down next to him, and I just look at him, and I'm like, I need to talk with you. And he goes, and then he goes, what did I do? He's like, what did I say something? And I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm like,
Talk.
Yes.
nothing about you. He goes, okay. And then I sit down and I tell him how I'm feeling, the yuck that I feel inside, that I feel like I've done all of 2023 and all of these things. And I'm like over here and I'm crying and I'm bawling. And I have this negative mindset. And I fixed my mind negatively. And he looks at me and he goes, okay, now, he said, look at it this way. You only paid yourself $600, but you haven't had to put money into the office. Every single month, the office is paying for itself. And we have a family friend who opened their office first. It took her 5 months to sell her first auto policy, and first 5 months to sell any kind of policy. We said, and after the first month, you sold enough that the office was going by itself. He goes, you need to see what you have accomplished in a year, even though you're not where you're at. And instead of being over here sad and crying about it, you've seen and addressed that there is an issue and a problem. Now you need to go and fix it. Now you need to see what you can do to make it grow, to make the office grow.
Mhm.
That's
And I
good.
just kind of looked at him. I'm over here, I'm like still crying. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
And I just kind of looked at him and I'm like, thank you. He goes, for what? I'm like, I really needed to hear that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes it's really hard for us to figure out where we need to change that mindset. And after that conversation, and since that conversation, like I've been showing up to the office on time. Because I was going to the office like super late. My mom was being like you're not being here, like because I didn't want to be there. I felt like I was wasting my time. And now I'm looking at it differently. I'm doing things proactively. Like I organized an anniversary event,
I love that.
and a whole bunch of things that I'm doing out of myself because I said if I've noticed that there is a problem, but I know what I have a gem, I just need to polish it and keep on presenting it
No, that's
so
good
that
chocolate
people will
now.
keep coming. That
Yeah.
part.
I need to hear that. I know I
That
have a
is so
gem.
good.
Mhm.
Do you know if you have a gem?
Yes.
Are you polishing it? Are you fixing it?
And I just came.
That's good.
I just
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
Do you
'Cause
know the
sometimes
value?
yeah, because sometimes we have it and we don't know what to do with it,
Mhm.
or we get complacent,
So complacent.
or we procrastinate. And I'm just telling you my own experience. Or
Yes.
we just feel like I don't have enough support,
Mm,
and you just push it to the side. But if that's what you're meant to do,
Mhm.
it's not going
absolutely.
away. So you need to acknowledge what you have and polish it. Acknowledge what you've been given and use that for the purpose that you've been put here. As a
Mm.
communicator, like you
Yes,
that's what you do. And it's almost like,
absolutely.
this guy's way of saying I'm not gonna get rid of it. But
Yeah.
but again, in your frustration, we talked about that gym,
Mhm.
when the diamonds they have to be pressed, and
Uh-huh.
they have to go
Man.
through
Under
the
pressure.
yes.
Yes, under
So
pressure.
we all have that process where we're under that pressure and it's like, I can't take it anymore. I can't keep doing this to myself. And it's like, you're so
Absolutely.
close. You're so close. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Because in the end, there is a diamond.
It
That was
is.
so profound. I'm sorry. I just went there, but listen.
That's true.
Listen, no, it is amazing. I want to add to the shifting of the mindset of also shifting your circle because that's so important,
Absolutely.
right?
100%.
Sometimes
Yes,
when we shift our mindset, we find ourselves isolated and lonely because when we're shifting, the people around us are still stuck in a different place. So when we're shifting our mindset, that's also a place for you to shift your circle and surround
so
yourself
true.
with people that are in the same path that you're heading to, right? So
Absolutely.
there's one thing about me that I've always said, and not always said, but recently, yeah, I've said this a lot because I've been looking a lot on my circles and looking a lot at the people that I surround myself with. And though I am super proud to be sitting with some of the ladies that I'm sitting with, like these ladies here are amazing. Um, I also I see myself sitting in tables that I'm like, man, what am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? And with that, it's like you have to learn to shift your circles. If the
Absolutely.
people that you're surrounding yourself with are not people of growth mindset, are not people that are trying to do better, are not people that are viewing life in a positive way, you're going to get stuck in your negativity. You're going to get stuck in that shift. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get stuck in that mind. So you have to know when it's time to walk away from certain groups, when it's time to go into other groups. And one of the main things that we don't talk about often is that isolation process that happens when
Absolutely.
you shift your mindset.
When you just said isolation, it made me think of when you are a seed. If you were a seed and you're being planted in the ground, you're up
It's
under the
dark.
ground, it's dark.
Mhm.
There's nobody there. And you're doing all this work. Like imagine this seed. It's doing all this work. It's extending, it's making roots, it's making its mark. Nobody sees that work.
Mhm.
Nobody can see it. Not until you have grown to a point where you now burst out of the darkness. So it is an isolation point. And you have to respect that isolation point and understand that while you're under the ground, when you're working real hard to get through that gravel, through that grit, through that darkness, that dirt. But eventually you will see the light of day if you don't give up because it's all about our mindset and not giving up. So Alondra, when you said like working, I remember when I first started Wow, Women Helping Other Women, and it started as just a group. And 7 years ago, it was an idea. And I took it to some friends and family and said, hey, I have this idea about having this group of women. And it was not received well at first. I was told, girl, just stick to your 9 to 5 because you don't have time for that. And it's not going to go nowhere. Ain't nobody going to show up. These were real conversations. So I took it personal. But then I was like, I can't just accept their word for it because they're not even doing nothing right now.
Right.
So I went out and I went to SCORE and I told them my idea and they were like, that's awesome. And matter of fact, we want you to work with us. So for 5 years, while building my own nonprofit, I was building and helping them to grow SCORE. 5 years. I did this
That's
simultaneously.
crazy.
Wow.
And
Score Tulsa. Shout out to Score
yes,
Tulsa.
Score Tulsa. And you can go to tulsascore.org for free mentorship. But when I think about the things that I did under the ground,
Right.
the networking with one-on-one with people, nobody saw those networks.
Yeah.
And now, 7 years later, I can go into a room and people be like, that's Crystal Ifakoya. And I'm
Right.
like, oh my
That's
goodness,
right.
you know my name.
Yeah.
And I don't know them. And I'm like, excuse me, who are you?
Mhm.
But that is God's way of telling you, you have to shift your mindset.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting the answer you need, get you some more friends.
I want to add to that whole rooted thing real quick. So going back to the seed, when a seed is planted and it comes out, and sometimes you see some flowers that are very easily picked out,
Come on, they die
Yeah.
out.
right?
Come
Like
on.
a
Yes.
kid can come through and pick them out real quick, and all that work that flower did to try to come out the root, and all that hard work that happened, it went away that quickly.
Mhm.
Then sometimes you see some flowers that are really hard to come out. And when
Mm-mm.
they come out with the root
The root.
and everything else,
Everything.
right?
Yes.
Because they're
Yes.
so rooted. So sometimes our process and our journey is hard and it takes a little bit longer than others. But trust me, if you're ever picked out, you're going to come out strong, So it's part of that. But with that being said, I mean, I feel like this topic we can talk about forever because
Yes.
mindset and shifting mindset, we all go through our different journeys with that. But I do want to thank you guys so much for listening to us and checking us out on YouTube. Make sure that you guys comment, like, share, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. And
Yes.
until next time, guys,
Keep on shining.